welcome to my show, guys. I am about to look at the Street Fight tips, starting with the fat tips right here with Street Fight, his Street Fights advice. Let's check it out. Let's see what he got.
All right, let's see. I got my phone, wallet, keys. Yes, good to go. All right, let's hit the road.
So, what's that up here?
Oh, you know what? I got my mouthpiece. Oh, I think I hit someone. Did I bump you, man? I'm sorry.
He got the mask on, which is great. With the COVID going on, still going on. This is dated about a year ago. So this guy, he supposedly accidentally hit this guy. People will get angry when you accidentally enter just a small fender.
You gotta be kidding me, buddy. Who taught you how to drive?
Okay, so you might, but however, you might come across with people who doesn't wear masks. He's wearing a mask, for the video. Just see what else. So this is you know, people are not always gonna wear masks.
Man, my apologies. That was an accident. No, I don't want to hear it. This is a classic. 2016.
He has a classic, which is funny because it's never 20 years old. I mean, if it's 2021, it's only a 5 years old car. You know, 20 years would be ideally a classic or older. Yeah, 1975. That's a classic. T-board. 1975 T-Bird would be a classic. That's not, I guess maybe in 10, 20, 40 years would be a classic, but not now.
Are you kidding me? I hope you got insurance to pay for this.
I don't really see any damage.
People, yeah, they overreact over a small fender.
Man, I mean, like I said, I'm sorry.
Forget the insurance.
Not really, I mean, that's a little over the top. People to throw a punch, but could have happened. I don't really see it. They will ask for your insurance, obviously, because they want to make sure your car insurance pay for any damage that you possibly done. So that's just that. I mean, can people be aggressive? I haven't come across anybody who had tried to tug a strong on me in a small fender. I mean, I've been in one, and everything was okay. Nobody got hurt. Everybody was alright. It was just, the tail light had to be changed. That's it. Not a big deal. But I do like how he,
You gotta be kidding me, buddy. Who taught you how to drive?
Yeah, man, my apologies. That was an accident.
No, I don't want to hear it. This is a classic. 2016. Are you kidding me? I hope you got insurance to pay for this.
I don't really see any damages, man. I mean, like
I
said, I'm sorry.
Forget the insurance.
So he's covering on here, but he's also, possibly can use that hand to vision out and go into the attack, like while he's going in, that way he can control the person. So he just got this wide swing, which obviously, if you want to, I'm gonna show this. So if he got this wide swing, as you see, all you have to do is really because you see that swing model that's telegraphed, but he's trying not to hurt this guy, obviously. So let's see what he does.
Come on, 40. You gotta relax, man. You gotta chill. All right, you gonna take it easy?
And he gets to the Kim guy.
What's going on, guys? Shane here.
What's my line? I'm in.
Man,
I'm in. I got it.
kicking it old school, bringing it back with some self-defense fight tips videos for you guys. Let's start off with the first tip on how to win a street fight. So here are 10 tips on how to win a street fight.
Let me go ahead and say this. The winning a street fight is hard to train for sometimes. I mean, yes, it's possible, but and if you train like different scenarios, I don't know what it, but train work out all the what if scenarios. That is always possible, but this is 21-minute video, so let's go ahead and see what he says about the 10, and I'll
Starting with number one, which is being able to identify when your personal safety is at risk versus your ego that's being threatened. All right, so Am, how would you define ego?
Eggo waffles.
Exactly. So your ego is what makes you you. It's your own personal thoughts, beliefs, feelings towards things, but it's often very fragile. And when it's threatened, we get angry, we get hostile, right? So in the scenario earlier, we saw that Ant had a lot of pride in his car.
This is a classic 2016.
And the idea of that being threatened, that being damaged, even though there was no damage done, got him angry. And then I could have matched that if my ego got in the way. I could have then gotten angry, and then it would have escalated quickly. We would have gotten into a fight. But instead, you want to try to stay calm. You want to not take things personally, because it wasn't my intention to actually do damage to Ant's car, right? In the scenario, I didn't know who he was. If he can realize that in a moment, then we can handle it in a much more civil manner, all right? So this is much easier said than done, but it's going to bring you the best results, because avoiding the fight is winning the fight. All right, guys, now tip number two is...
That's a good tip, but however, I'm sorry, I get what he's trying to say on that, and that it's, yeah, it could happen. I mean, people could definitely be on the high horse, to like everything is owed to me, right? Those kind of people. Those kind of people has a big ego, right? And there's fine and simple of Miyamoto Musashi when he challenges his opponents to a duel, he would come in on late, purposely late, knowing that the anger will cause his opponent to lose, while he's chill as a chill as a cucumber. I can't get the word out of my mouth, but but at that scenario, he's always playing that, right? He's always it he's always got that. He's always 2 steps ahead, right? In that scenario, he didn't know. It was like, oops, everybody makes mistakes, right? Obviously, you should have a police. There should be a police report of any kind of incident if it's a fender bender, or you can just simple just now he can the guy who tried to throw the punch, he will go to you can press charges for attempting assault on you, but this continue on more for the
verbal diffusion, knowing how to talk your way out of a fight. Let's say it's a scale, right? I get out of the car and I'm calm and relaxed. Let's say that's a 1. Ant gets out of the car and he's angry. Let's say that's like a 6. If you get to a 10, assume he's going to throw a punch. That's a fight, right? So we want to try to bring him down. I can try to match him if my ego gets in the way and be at a 6, but then it's probably going to climb. He's going to go to a 7 or an 8. It's going to go back and forth, and then a fight's going to break out, right? So we want to try to bring him down. So Ant, let's go back and forth with just a little dialogue here about what happened. So I bumped into you. You get out of the car. You slam the door, and you say something along the lines of,
Yo, buddy, what you think you're doing?
all right, and from here, like I said, I could be angry right back, but instead I'd say, oh man, I'm really sorry about that. It was an accident. I didn't mean to bump into you.
Listen, man, I hope you got insurance to be able to pay for this. It's a classic car.
And at this point, you know, be realistic. It's like, look, man, I do have insurance, but I don't see any damage done here.
It ain't the point, buddy. All right, you backed into me. I'm having a bad day. You know what? It's just the icing on the cake.
And then from here, I could say you want to empathize with them, and you want to make sure that they are being heard. So you say something like, "Look, man, I totally understand why you're upset, but truly you can see, you know, this was just a mistake on my part. I didn't mean to do it."
Yeah, you know, I understand. Like I said, I'm having a bad day. You know what? It ain't a big deal. You got insurance. We'll get it taken care of.
There we go. All right, we'll share our information. We'll take care of it with the insurance, right? And this goes for a road rage situation, but this goes for pretty much any scenario where you can talk to someone. If there's that point where you can talk to someone, then try to verbally diffuse it, try to bring them down. Granted, there's going to be situations where people are already at a 10.
yeah. So if he's right. But the thing is, can you bring it down? I mean, you could be polygenic. Some people could be pricks that just have a chip on their shoulder and they are ready to go. I mean, they are that pissed off. They can go. They can be ready to go. I can't. If somebody just just one person pissed me, cross my line, I will beat their ass. This is a story I heard. The guy I was on at the store. This was just a story, yo. This guy was basically he said it loud. I heard him, but I didn't think nothing of it. I didn't want in trouble with anybody. You know, I was just trying to do what I wanted to do in the store and get out. But he said he was talking to his buddy. He's like, basically he was saying, I'm going to fight. I'm ready to go. So the next person just bumps into me or whatever, I'm just gonna go at it. So that I mean, obviously that guy would just have a bad day. So I can imagine if I asked him bumped into that man. He's even after I asked him, even though he was like always said out that all his lines, and I asked him bumped into him, he's gonna be really going. Who knows? He had a buddy with him. Who knows if his buddy was gonna will tag along. That's the crazy thing here. Now, could I? So man, I honestly didn't see it there, man. I was just not. I was just paying attention. My mind was somewhere else. But he's you know. Some people just don't care. You continue.
They come out and they're about to throw that punch. Now you have to be able to recognize those certain cues, and we're going to talk about them in the upcoming tips. All right, next tip is being able to identify aggressive body language on someone. So let's say I bump into Ant, right away he hops out of the car, super aggressive, and he gets in my face, something like this. Maybe a little less animated, but if he's got his fist cocked, he's swinging his arms, he's in a bladed stance, different things like this. If he starts closing the distance on me, right, he's getting close to me, you should feel threatened. He's coming into your zone. If he's close enough to hit you, you should be thinking that way. All right, maybe I got to blade my stance a little bit. Maybe I got to start to lift my shoulder up a little bit. One thing I like doing is getting in the I don't want any trouble stance, right? So you got your hands out. Very simple from here to parry punches. Right hand throws a punch.
I liked Dan Locke's video on this on that. He said normally when you don't want to do is have your hands up. Let me put the camera up so you see. Has your hands up. That also can say I want to fight, because all you have to do, because as soon as you put a step back, you have your hands up. You ready to go. That's what Dan Locke was saying. I don't know if I want to spend too much time on this video, because he has a lot of tips. This is redundancy, because of the fact there are good tips. Don't get me wrong, they're good tips.
Bang, right? I can lift my head up and go helmet guard from here. I can post out on his face. I can eye gouge even if I have to from there. But identifying the different aggressive body language. Other things are rolling the sleeves up if he's got a long sleeve shirt on. If he's screaming, or screaming to the point where spit's coming out of his mouth, right? That's a little animalistic. So these are different things that you need to be able to identify in the moment. But these are things that you can see even in like movies, or if you watch street fight footage, you'll be able to watch and see these different things that people do. And there's almost like a moment where it clicks, and it's like, you know that that person has already passed that point of no return. They're going to throw a punch. They've already decided it in their mind, and it's going to happen. All right. Now, this scenario that we showed in the beginning was actually based on a true story. So the day before my wedding, when I married Marie, who's behind the camera right now, I forgot my memory card for the camera, and I was pulling out of the spot, and I was like, oh, I forgot the memory card. So I started to back up, and someone pulled into the spot behind me. I bumped into him. He got really aggressive in my face. And what I did at first, I said, man, I'm sorry. And he said, you're sorry. And he got really close to me. And when he did, I said, yes, I said, I'm sorry. So I started off calm and relaxed. And then I went with a firm apology. And I said, yes, I said, I'm sorry. One hand extended, one hand made a fist. And I saw his eyes go right to the fist. And he made that connection. All right, I shouldn't take another step closer. Now, two things can happen here. All right, two things could be either I don't want any of that, or he could see that as a challenge and be like, oh, what, you got your hands cocked? So this is something that, you know, I'm providing some advice here based on true events. Luckily, in the scenario, in the real life scenario when this happened, I got the first one where he backed up and he's like, you know, this is a classic, man. He was really upset about it, but he didn't want to actually engage in a fight. But he was getting very close to me. I thought he was going to attack first. I kept my distance with this long arm out, and then I made that fist. So again, using body language yourself to kind of convey the message. All right, now we're going to go into, should you throw that first punch? All right, now here's a question that everyone should ask themselves, because I can't answer it for you. And the question is, should I throw the first punch? You have to identify your own morals, your own values.
Okay, so should you throw your own punch? I'm gonna go ahead. It really depends on your place in your area. Because he says he was still at his car. That's probably just can go under the castle Dacron law, which is when you stand on your own ground, basically saying hey, I felt like I'm a threat. I'm out here in my car. He came at me. Then you you can easily get away with the self-defense or standing your own ground. So depending on your where you live at in your state, depending on your state, right? I believe there's only 23 states allow that, standing your own ground. Let me go on here and check that out. Let's see. So state that have you standing on 5 laws. So here there's and again you want to look at this here, read it, because it can apply for, because I know about this law because I read it. Types of self-defense laws, although some states use blend of documents, self-defense laws generally fall into following three categories: standing your ground laws, no daring to repeat from the situation before resorting to a deadly force, not limited to your home, place, or work, etc. Two is the castle doctrine, no duty to repeat before using deadly force if you are in your home or yard. Some states include places of work in occupied vehicle. Number three is duty retreat. Duty retreat from a threatening situation if you can do so, comply safety. So there you have it. That's the types of self-defense laws. Uh, so here, let's look at the states. I'm not gonna. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nevada, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, and West Virginia. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5. What's about 26? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 states. So all the states I name in that has these laws, guys. So there you have it. I'm not gonna read this whole thing because it's long fucking thing here, but you can read yourself. Just Google it like I did, and go into findlaw.com slash criminal slash criminal law dash blah 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 blah, and you can check it out yourself. Uh, this is a thing here. There are laws throughout the U.S. for, allow people to defend themselves when threatened, but latitude that they have to do so varies from state to state. Many states have enacted so-called standing your ground laws to remove any duty to retreat before use of force and self-defense. Florida passed first such law in 2005. That's interesting. But like I said, a lot of this stuff will fall under the Council Doctrine law. So check that out, look at it, and be careful, because if you do fight, that's not in the Council Doctrine law, you and your both the parties will go to jail. Both of y'all be at fault.
And truly, it's up to you on whether or not you're going to throw the first punch. Me personally, I think I can use a punch preemptively to stop an attack if I followed all of the other previous tips first, okay? Meaning, I identified my ego and I didn't let it get in the way. I tried to calm him down, I tried to verbally diffuse it, I tried to keep my distance, but he's showing all of that aggressive body language, he's in my face, I feel that threat is coming, then I want to use my punch as a form of self-defense, and that's what self-defense is. It's you are allowed to use the amount of force needed to stop the threat that's coming at you. All right. So if Ant's all the way over there and he goes, "Man, I'm really upset about my car," I can't walk up and punch him in the face. I'm the aggressive person at that point. But if instead Ant's getting in my face and I got my arm fully extended, I use my physical length right here of my arm to decide whether or not he's within punching range. If Ant comes in and I feel his chest on my hand, well, even before he throws a punch, if he's walking at me like this, or he's getting real close in my face, and I'm hearing like, don't step any closer, man. And then he takes that extra step. All right, something like this, it's not super aggressive, but if I see the fist cocking back, if I see him loading up for a shot, and I feel that my fingertips are touching his chest, then at this point, I'm gonna go first, personally. Okay, I'm gonna try to use that as a form of self-defense.
He's right. I mean, you can stand that out, and that would teach you the fight measure, learning the he's in my range, and a lot of people don't need to be in a particular range because especially if they have a longer range, because maybe your hand reach might be your range, but if he has a longer range, a longer reach, he doesn't have to go too far up. So learning if you do a try to stiff arm here, and you could actually this is where sensitivity comes in to play. Like if you are right here, you got your hands out, you got your hands right here and he's at the if you're touching his chest, technically that is considered to be assault. Just a touch can say they can try to use an assault if it's spitting, touching, or anything that can be used against you can and will be you can be and you will be charged for assault. But however, if he's ready to go and you feel threatened, then within the law, depend on the state, you can defend yourself. I don't think I'm gonna do too much more on the videos because I've already been here almost half an hour. I don't want to make it too long. I'm telling you, a 2 minute video. It's longer than it should be. However, the point that I was trying to say is, you can use this as a sensitivity drill. You practice with your partner when you get to the when he start to move. You could know when that person, especially if they ain't trained, and they could come out this way, because a lot of people when they throw those haymakers, they go way out here because they want to try to get a lot of power, and you can't get a lot of power behind when you try to line up the punches. But you can get also a lot of, but you also take it that's too much time. A quick jab to the face or whatever can really that will stop that hit. You'll intercept that wide punch that some of these people like to throw.
To stop him. All right. You need to identify it right now. Don't think, all right, I'm gonna make up my mind when the fight happens. There's going to be different scenarios, so you have to decide what is that point at which you really feel physically threatened. Again, not your ego, not your pride. This is when you feel I have to throw this punch in order to stop this threat from hurting me, from it getting any worse. Okay, so if you don't throw the first punch, then you have to trust that you're going to defend it, and then you're going to react accordingly. So let's say I have my arm out or whatever, I'm right here, and I don't, and throws the first punch now, I'm not ready. Then from here, I'm either going to take a shot, which is likely going to happen, if he doesn't telegraph it, if he just kind of throws a shot, cold cocks me, and I'm not ready for it, it's probably going to land. So that's why, like, I always talk about keeping my distance, and that's what we're going to talk about in the next point. This is something that you have to get the reps in, whether you have a heavy bag or you're shadowboxing or you're doing partner drills. This is something that
I kind of like the video of well, not kind of. I really like the video of Hard It Hurts, where he had was it fight to fit or fight fit or whatever they call, where they are in a closed space and there's no really way for you to gain to create that space. You have to really to find a way to create space. So no, but if you can create space, then create that space. That's to your own.
no, I'm not even going to talk
Doing
about
partners on fighttips.com.
that. There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Plug. Shameless.
All right, now we're going to talk about understanding range and distance. In fighting, it is probably one of the most important aspects, and it's really one of the reasons why you should sign up for fighttips.com. There's the plug. All right, so there's a couple of different things that vary up range and distance. Obviously, positioning of the body, so footwork and where I'm standing. Also the length, wingspan or height, right? So Ant's a little bit taller than me. His arms are a little bit longer, means he can reach me before I can reach him, right? If you hold your jab hand out, your right hand out. Okay, let's go.
Monster mash.
Pick one. He can touch my forehead. He can touch me before I can touch him, all right? Meaning I have to be a little bit closer, but you want to know what your weapons are and how to reach them with those, all right? So I have my jabs, my crosses. Hooks are going to be a little bit more looping, so they're going to be a little bit shorter range. The longest weapon that we have, our legs are our longest limbs, so the front push kick or a side kick is going to be my longest range attack. Most people will say you shouldn't kick in a street fight. I say if you know how to kick and you know the situation permits, meaning you're not on loose gravel, you're not on snow or ice or wet grass or something like that, and you feel comfortable throwing kicks, then you can use them. All right.
I actually done a video where I said sandals in the video, but I meant to say flip flops, where I was raining and I did kicks. I mean, of course, he's right. You have to practice those kicks. If you learn how to kick in self-defense before, then that's not recommended from anybody who has not learned the basics and hasn't practiced years. I mean, who hasn't have years of practice of that.
Real quick, we're going to talk about how to make a fist when throwing a punch, all right? Because most people damage their hands in a street fight. Our skull is made to protect our most vital organ, our brain, right? So it's hard, it's thick. And our hands are made for intricate things like throwing a ball, writing, painting, things like that. So when you make a fist, most people will say, you know, curl the hands in, squeeze the thumb underneath. But one thing that I have found that has really protected my hand and wrist is, imagine that you're holding onto a glass straw. All right, some people will call this fist loading because people will put a roll of quarters or a lighter in their hand. And not only does that add a little more density and weight to the hand, but it also protects the fingers, all right, so that you don't overextend them going this way. This is how a lot of that damage happens. Sometimes it's a boxer's fracture to this part of the hand because they hit with the incorrect knuckles, or it's stretching the tendons, the ligaments in the fingers or in the wrist. So what I want you guys to start practicing doing is imagine you're holding onto a glass straw. You don't want to break that straw when you throw the punch. Okay, so now not only do we have structure to the hand, but it's less likely to cave in this way when we throw that punch, so a stronger impact, okay? So a couple different techniques, a couple different weapons right there. We have straight punches, we have hook punches, we have uppercut punches, we have teeps, front push kicks, we have side kicks. These are things that are pretty natural to the human body, but again, join fighttips.com if you want like the actual technique breakdowns for how to throw these individual strikes. Now let's talk about defense. All right, now we're going to talk about blocking punches and also a little bit more about range. So, Ant, what would you say is the most commonly thrown strike in a street fight?
Haymaker. Make the world go round.
The king of haymakers. Most people are right-handed. This isn't always going to be the case, but most likely it's going to be a right punch to the face. We got different ways of defending against it. Let's talk about the previous one. We talked about range. I can be outside of that punch range, right? And throws a right haymaker. I can step away and create a lot of distance. This one is going to be your natural reaction, but it's a little bit dangerous. Again, if I don't understand the range correctly, Ant's a little bit longer. If I don't step back enough or lean back enough, he still may catch me, right? So Ant throws a right hand, and I step back, but not enough. He catches me, really bad spot, especially if you lean back and your chin is up, all right? So instead, what I want you to do is sometimes crash the range, and that's what I did in the video, is I went underneath and into him. Think about running into the fire, right? So he throws that punch, I got underneath, I still protected my head, and then closed up the distance by getting a body lock, okay? Let's talk about defending these punches with blocks. I always talk about pillars or shields. Think about your arms as shields, all right? So if someone were to shoot an arrow at you, right, and shoots an arrow, that arrow comes flying at me, I want to block that with my shield this way. Instead of trying to like smack it or karate chop it out of the air, right? A lot of people have trouble with parries. Instead, just use your whole forearm as a shield here. And if he's throwing a looping punch, instead of trying to, again, like deflect it or parry it, I'm just going to catch it with my whole shield. I'm going to answer the telephone, right? It's one of Ant's favorite references.
Hello.
Hello? Bring the wrist up to your ear, answer the telephone, Ant throws that punch, and I go here. Again, I can crash the range and step in. Boom, now I have a strike. I have an elbow to the face, okay? So keeping your hands up from the I don't want any trouble stance, Ant throws that right hand, which is likely going to come. I step in, I protect myself while adding some offense to it as well, okay? So using these shields, again, just adjust accordingly, whether it's palm in to protect yourself and grabbing your own head, or if I want to try to catch these shots coming in, then I'm going to go palm out, right? If Ant's like throwing jabs, which probably, I'm not going to like square off with someone and he's throwing jabs, but that's what that would look like at a longer range, or what they call a long guard. So long guard, short guard, but again, in a street fight, it's going to be so chaotic. It's not really going to be like a boxing match like that. It's going to be these big punches, right? Aggressive. It's going to be like a tornado, Tasmanian devil, and you want to try to control them. So there's probably going to be a lot of grappling involved, and that's why you saw in that intro video, I covered up, I went underneath, grabbed that body lock, and then tried to restrain him from there. Let's talk about how to eat a punch, how to take a punch, because it's going to happen. You're going to get caught, right? And instead of getting punched and going, oh my God, I got hit, it's over, I'm losing, I want to give you guys some confidence and understand how to properly take a punch and take as little damage as possible. Say Ant is successful with that haymaker that he throws. If my chin is up, bad, no good. All right, so right away, even from this I don't want any trouble stance, notice as soon as I do that, my shoulders flex forward. It's because I want a little bit of that protection. I'm using that end of the shield to protect my jaw. All right, this is the magic button that you don't want them to press, okay? So right away, I'm here, Ant throws a punch. I want to take it on the forehead, much better. Like I said, the skull is very hard. His hands are a little bit more fragile.
No, you're right. He also can do a lot of damage, and when you and this is what is crazy, but with that technique, because when you do put your head down, I would like to cover up a little bit more. Even if I use my shoulders, uh, uh, now depend if you hit right here and you want more of a top to where everything is more hard, not up here to the forehead, but up to here, it's a lot harder. You could possibly break their hands, because our hands are that fragile. When they throw and you duck under, you'll hurt them more than you hurt more than you hurt you more than they'll hurt you. I can't speak. You will hurt them more than they will hurt you. In other words.
It's not good to get hit. I'm not saying you should get hit, but it's much better to take it here, boom, high, not the eyebrow. The eyebrow is going to split open. It's going to rattle you. Instead, we want to get like, imagine where a crown would land on your head, and that's the strongest part of the skull. All right. So again, my shoulders are going to flex up. My chin is going to go down. I'm going to try to keep my eyes open. Why? So that I can see where that punch is coming from, and I can also move with it, and then I'm also open for my counter. But that's the next tip. So when Ant throws that punch again, I'm here, bang, I'm lifting my shoulders up, I'm tucking my chin, I'm bracing for it. Now when that punch lands, I can also move with it, right? Instead of taking the brunt, what's going to be a worse accident? If it's two cars in a head-on collision, or if one car is driving this way and another one's driving a little bit faster, it's just going to bump into it. So think about it like that. That's one car, here's the other car, I'm going to move with it, bang, and my eyes are open. Much easier said than done, but now let's talk about how to counter from there. All right, how to finish a fight now. All right, so the punches were thrown. Maybe I got hit. Maybe I blocked it. The number one thing that should be on your mind is safety. At what point can I exit at a safe point? Like a lot of people will say, if you can run, run. And that's true, but like I also don't want to turn my back on that. But what if I'm in a scenario? What if I'm indoors? What if I'm right here and I got nowhere to run, right? So you want to try to get to a position where they're either restrained or you completely nullified them and you created enough distance, so if you push them, they land on their butt or they fell or something like that, and you have enough time to run, then yeah. And if you think you can outrun them, then find the nearest store or house or church or something and get in there somewhere where you're safe. But let's talk about countering. So Ant throws that right hand. I eat it. I didn't judge it right. It hits me. From here, like I said, you want to think fight fire with fire. I'm going bang. I'm going right back into him. If I have to close the distance, I will. But again, one of my favorite things, this sounds bad, but one of my favorite things to do in a street fight is push. Just a straight arm push to the chest. Bang. A lot of distance, right? He moves back. He's stumbling. I created that 6 feet distance that we're supposed to with social distancing. And now, yeah, now I find my exit. I turn and run. So this is a lot, it has to do with...
I disagree on that one. Pushing could create that space. However, I'm not a fast runner. I want to hit the vital areas. If I see the neck is open, I'll hit the neck, eyes, ears, the groin. Obviously, the groin be the last target I would try to go for. But ideally, I want to hit the throat. I want to hit the nose. I want to hit something that's gonna be vital. Something that's gonna be something easy for me to hit. Because let's face it, if they have to hit chin up like this, not chin down, a lot of people who if they box, bam, straight, even a palm or whatever, you don't really hitting a throat doesn't take a lot of practice, right? We know where the throat is at. When I'm taking a shot, I don't push. If I cannot outrun you, and this is what happened. This is a true story. Listen, my brother was in the Marine Corps, and he did what he could to defend himself against other people that attacked him. He ran. The guy was faster than him, and he got pistol whip. Luckily, it was just a pistol whip. With a gun, you don't need to if somebody to hit, you can point and shoot. Easy as that. Maybe the guy just didn't want to go to prison, so he used his gun, pop him, and that still could have killed my brother. You know, it is what it is. So I preferably would want to hit targets that I can see is open. Soon if I'm here and I see that I'm covered, even if he hit me in my head, stuck me on the ground, I want to hit to the eyes, to the throat. If he down there, I see that's open. I can go with the hair. I can go with my fingers in my hair. I can use my knuckles. I can use my palm to strike to the trigger area. Pushing it may throw that person off, and well, you can run, but ideally I want to be able to make sure I can run, versus oh shit, I just push him and I just run. Uh, that person will give chase if he wants to really want to beat your ass.
Like awareness of where you are in your environment. This is why anytime I leave the moment I leave my house, I'm constantly thinking about exit strategies, right? If I'm in a movie theater, if I'm in a restaurant, wherever, I constantly am just thinking, all right, there's my escape, there's my escape. If something were to happen, I'm making sure I have all bases covered. I see everyone that's in there. I'm constantly monitoring and ready to go. All right, so you should be thinking the same way. Again, we're trying to cover all the bases here on this video and make it a one-stop shop for you guys, but a lot of it is mindset, a lot of it is...
So yeah, he's right. You do want an answer plan. Look, so behind him, if you get to the point where you hit that fire area, you hit the throat, then go. For me, honestly, I want to hit more than one fire area. I want him hurt. That way, when I escape, I can jump over. Make sure I can jump over the fence. Make sure that I know that the fence are not that they won't electrocute me. If they or I just as soon as he's done, I just run. I go out. I get out of that space. I can put if those fence behind him is on I would just jump over the fence and go and find because I see a building, so maybe I can go into the building, get some help, find somewhere where I could get help from. So he's absolutely have people buildings, and he's in an area where he can run to call 911. Uh, if he has a cell phone on him, go get create that distance and call first before you call 911 on the street. You might want to go ahead and find that crowd of people and just go ahead and call 911 or ask uh, the store owner and say, "Hey man, so I've been attacked and I want to report this." And report it. Let's see what he got. What he got.
Awareness. Next up, we're going to talk about a little bit more specific things, which is aggression. When you're fighting an aggressive fighter, or how to be aggressive.
I almost forgot. There's a thing I did. Came from a book, and in the book was like, if you're in a restaurant, and this is a drill, this is something you can practice yourself. Like, right, you go to a restaurant, you're looking around, like let's say you're on a date, so so when you close the eyes, you look like you're praying for your meal or whatever, but quickly make it look around, like make it look around, see where you're at, uh, see if you can remember details. Uh, I did this, and I remember this still to this day. I closed my eyes, and I noticed there's a couple. There was a lady with like a straw hat with a little pretty flower. She was wearing a loud, kind of like a pretty loud short shirt that had flowers on it. That kind of matches her hat. She had sunglasses. Her partner that she was with was wearing a gray shirt. Uh, I I don't remember the second what print. I think it was I want to say it was Braves t-shirt that he had on, and then retros. We had a brunette waitress. She's I believe she was Hispanic, and she was all dolled up. Possibly a 5'5", 5'3", and more. The shortest. Bouncing curly hair. Type woman. I believe. Let's see here. Then we have people behind us. The guy was. He had his hair was like kind of like mine's. Like he uh was bald on top. He was heavy set, big guy, big fella. About in his maybe in his 50s. Uh, with his wife kids. So, and and then the exit was like the bathroom across, and then the exit would be behind the people behind us, right? That's the exit. I knew the bathroom was across from us. The exit was behind the people that were sitting behind us. So it was uh no, I know the kitchen was front and straight ahead, so I knew uh the area, and I try to remember every detail that. Look, I'm even to the point of remembering seeing somebody with a gun, carrying a gun or whatever. So there you go, man.
Aggressive yourself. We're at tip number 9 now. If you made it this far, awesome. You're getting into the proper mindset. Now, speaking of mindset, I know some people watching are very calm, right? They're like, I'm always at a level 1. I need help being a little bit more aggressive. And understand that it's a mindset. Truly, it really is. To be able to get there, or to be able to get yourself there in the heat of a moment. And I'm going to give you a couple physical cues to try to get there, but just know like that in the moment, in a street fight, it's usually much better to be aggressive. Like, it's going to be quick, it's going to be chaotic, and you want to overwhelm. So when you do that, I want you to sit your weight down, so bend your knees and get a little bit lower. This is going to help you out with your balance. I want you to think of the word overwhelm. Overwhelm them with strikes. So whether it's
Okay, so he's all right. You could be still chill in the fight, but
clawing, punch.
He's right. You do want overround people with strikes. Uh, just going crazy. You just want to people to, but still, ideally, uh, practice. First of all, practice strikes. Right, shadow point boxing, uh, sparring, all that will help you prepare yourself for a straight fight, because you can, especially one thing about sparring. If you go to a place that has sparring, try to spar. Encourage yourself and want to spar people. I mean, more than, now, I guess nowadays they will spar people, match up people who's bigger than them. Try to do your best and really use what you know. Like, don't be scared of really get into. Not now. At this point, you also don't want to hurt your partner. Your partner. Let's finish this video. Here it goes.
Punches, palm strikes, elbows, like get on them, and again, be like Tasmanian Devil, be all over them, try to knock them off balance while maintaining your balance. In addition to that, grunt, make noises, scream, draw attention to people that are around so that they can intervene, so that they can call the police, again, so it can get broken up quick. So being aggressive, like I said, is a state of mind, but just, again, use that word, think of that word, overwhelm them. What would overwhelm you? Do that to them. All right, now let's say it's the other side. Let's say they're very aggressive and you want to be able to beat them. The first thing I want to say is be confident. Be confident that you're going to win. If there's any seeds of doubt in your mind, they're going to blossom and you're going to lose because that's what you're thinking about. So believe that you're going to win, be confident that you're going to win, and let's talk about some different ways that we can beat that aggressive fighter, right? So Am comes in aggressive. Again, I can fight fire with fire and be aggressive right back, but again, I want to negate his strengths. He's throwing these looping punches for my head, then I want to get under, like we talked about earlier. He throws a big, whatever, any punch, right? I sit down, I get under, I keep my head protected, I can headbutt him on the way in, then I get that body lock, and then I can take him down, I can throw him down, or again, just like clinch up and control. If he's coming towards me, another option is play Ole with the bull, right? The bullfighter. He's got the red flag and ants the bull, right? He goes through and I move out of the way. So in a street fight, it's not going to be...
I could do, again, I disagree with that tip here. what you want to do. And if he's going in, yes, I want to come in. Like you said, go in, but I don't want to duck down. I want to come in, cover, and throw that punch. At the same time, look, I'm putting my camera on. At the same time, what I want, I'm gonna cover. Soon as I throw my punch, I want us to duck down here. Then if I get hit, my uh top of my head would get hit instead of my face. My hands is up here. I got a tight guard here. I got I'm doing a telephone. Whatever it is, I'm gonna come in, smash, go push through, push forward, to my attack. I want to set up where I can go to here to the 1-2. Maybe I throw that 1, that 4, bam, right? I then go back out. I wanna maybe go for a kick. Or maybe I might want to kick behind the kneecap. Then or you could do what he said. I won't go for the body. I'll go for the double leg. Boom, taking his leg out and underneath him. I saw my last video a while back ago when the guy just did exactly that, where he kicked the guy leg up and then he fell on his ass, and then he was able to do a double leg up, boom, and it was game over. He went out. His head hit the concrete, and it was game over for that guy. I'm out of here, guys. Thank you for watching. I will also would post the video from last night I did, so you have 2 videos. Check them out. I love y'all. Keep it real, and I'll be able to I love talking to you guys. I hope you like watching my videos. Until then, I'm out.